Welcome, my friends. Thanks for joining me this evening. It's a huge honor to be here as the guest of our host, AMZScout. My name is Jim Cockrum. I'll talk a little bit more about what I'm bringing to the game tonight here in just a moment, but a sincere, warm welcome. If you're listening to this, even the recording later, but if you're with me live tonight, that's phenomenal. Thanks for making some time to hang out with us. I guarantee if you hang out with me for the next half hour or so, I'm going to teach you some things about selling on Amazon that you've never seen before that you can go put to work right now and start making some money. That's the goal. I want to make this very worth your time. But a couple other issues before we dive into the great content that I have for you tonight. I consider you a business building warrior. I consider myself a business building warrior. We live in uncertain times. We live in times of great changes and things swinging back and forth and uncertainty about business online and off, economies and shift and the virus and all these things that are going on. I want to attempt tonight to get us very focused on one specific topic, however, and that is what's the best opportunity right now with everything that's on the horizon, all the things going on in the world, even these supply chain problems and these delivery issues that we're all seeing. Where is the true opportunity? And the good news is, one of the things I have that's good news is that this is something I've taught to thousands of people. My team and I've got a team of about 100 people. 30 of them are coaches. The rest are content creators and leaders in our community of about 70,000 people around the world that use Amazon to make a living all day, every day. Again, around the world, making a living on Amazon. Most of them selling on .com. I'm going to focus on that today because it doesn't matter where you live. You can sell on the US.com, and I'm going to tell you a strategy that works. And keep in mind, no matter where you are, you can do this. It doesn't have to be products that's delivered to your house and then shipped to the United States. You can buy and sell within the US. So I wanted to make a very warm welcome to those of you who live outside the US. This is for you guys tonight as well. Who am I? A little bit about me. I like to keep this part very short. It's not a bio of me. It's what I can do for you that matters, okay? So let's keep this short. I've sold millions of dollars online. It's been the only source of income for my family and I. I've got 5 kids, my wife. I'll show you a picture in a second. 20 years. That's been our sole source of income, full time, coming up on 20 years. I use the internet creatively to launch and grow income streams, and I teach other people how to do it. That's it. My wife is a stay-home mom. We homeschool our kids, 3 of whom are international adoptions. I told you about one. My family works in the business. I got kids in the business, my aunt, my mom. When family or old friends approach me and say, hey, I want to start making money online like you. I'm nervous about where my job is at. I'm nervous about this company I work for. Or I think I might get laid off, or I need an extra income stream. I have friends who come to me and say these things. What do I show them? What do I teach them? I show them and teach them what I'm about to show and teach you right now. This is it. I would say, hey, come join this presentation. I'm going to show you exactly what it is I think you should be doing. I consider this the lowest hanging fruit opportunity in e-commerce right now. There's many opportunities in e-commerce, but this is the lowest hanging fruit where you can have a very low level of skill. You can have a very low level of financial backing, very low level of education. It just doesn't require any kind of new technical strain, no new skills to learn. It's very low hanging fruit. It's called Amazon Replens. We'll jump into it in a minute, but I just wanted to show you a quick picture of my family. This is just a couple of weeks ago. So you got some girlfriends in the back row, along with my 3 sons. There's my oldest from Russia. We were blessed to be able to adopt from Guatemala. That's our little girl, our only little girl, Avon. Our son, Ty, he's actually from China. I got to visit Hong Kong with him not too long ago and do a presentation in front of some Amazon sellers. It was total blast. And this is me. I'm Jim, the one riding the cow. I'm very brave, as you can tell. And that's my beautiful wife of 27 years, Andrea. And we are just super blessed. And I'm honored to be here hanging out with you guys tonight. Like I said, girlfriends in the back row. One of them's about to get married right here. Those 2 about to get hitched here in a few weeks. So pretty exciting times for our family. But let's keep it rolling now that you kind of know a little bit who it is you're talking to tonight. I consider there to be about 4 basic models of selling on Amazon. Now, some people would say, oh, there's more models than that. And I'm not looking to debate here, but if we broke it down into its 4 general categories, there's 4. There's one you've probably heard a whole lot about, and another one that you're probably a couple to, maybe you're somewhat familiar with, but there's a third you may not have heard of before. And I'm going to teach it to you the way, again, I've taught thousands of people with hundreds of recent success stories. Okay. Those 4 models are on your screen right now. private label, wholesale, replens, and the traditional RAOA, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, buying stuff off of store shelves near you, flipping it, the old scanning barcodes kind of thing. That's not what we're going to be talking about tonight. Replens is different from that. Although it does involve some retail opportunities, it's very different from the basic scanning barcodes looking for stuff to sell. But I will say this, in defense of the RAOA model, we have plenty of people in our community, and maybe you know people as well, who are doing extremely well with just that model. It's very simple. But the thing I like about Replens, if we go one step up, if you notice, I kind of stacked these, and I've stacked them in the order of how difficult I think they are, the skill set required to achieve the highest level of results with each one. RAOA, it's just a matter of getting the Amazon app on your phone and scanning barcodes, and sometimes you find some good stuff and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you spend all day looking for good deals and sometimes you get nothing. Other days you come home and you got $1,000 worth of stuff you can sell that's going to sell very well. You just never know. So Replens is a step up from that, and I'll show you why that is here as we get into our training tonight. Now, if you were to go on YouTube right now and you were to type in, I want to learn to sell on Amazon, what you're going to find is about 90% of the content has to do with private label, launching your own brand, finding that perfect product and bringing, I like to call it sometimes, bringing that new, better mousetrap to the world and launching your own product out there. Now, we teach that. We teach it with excellence, but that's not what we're going to focus on tonight. But just so you know that we do know what we're talking about in that arena, if you were to go on Amazon right now and type in the word coffee, the generic term coffee on Amazon.com, Amazon US, one of the top 5 to 10 results any given day is going to be a brand called Death Wish Coffee. That's one of our students. We helped him do that. We understand private label branding. We understand launching a brand new brand that the world has never heard of before. We're good at it. But here's the big caveat. Here's the big warning I have for you. If you're new to succeeding on Amazon, your odds of failure with private label are off the charts. I would say it's 90 to 95% chance you will fail. I've heard from literally hundreds of people who have product in their garage because they went to YouTube and they said, I want to learn to sell on Amazon. And they bought a course for between $4,000 and $8,000 with some guru and expert and shiny software that costs a whole bunch of money every month. And they wound up with a bunch of stuff in their garage 8-9 months later that just won't sell. And they're trying all the pay-per-click tricks and all the keyword tricks and all the other marketing strategies that are in the end of this expensive course, and it's just not working for them. That's why we start our new students out with the Replens model right here. That's why I've got it highlighted. The vast majority of our students, unless they're making significant money already on Amazon, this is where we start them. And the training I'm going to go through tonight is going to show you exactly how this works, to the point where you could go start trying to do it yourself. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to show you as much as I can with the demonstration tools that I have in front of me, how you can go begin doing this and prove for yourself that it works. I'm actually going to jump on Amazon.com and show you several examples that I found very easily myself and show you the skill set that you'll need in order to start finding these opportunities yourself. Wholesale, we're very excited about that as well. We quickly transition people from Replens into wholesale in our community once they understand the basics, because then you're just ordering in slightly larger quantities at a slightly better price. But we have examples, and I'll show you these people in just a minute, hundreds of them, of people who build just Replens model businesses on Amazon. And I'll tell you what a Replen is in a minute for those of you who are wondering. I'm sure there's several wondering. Replens models who have 7-figure businesses, multiple 7-figure businesses in some cases, just selling Replens. So we'll get into what that is. Hey, I've got a podcast episode number 391 at silentjim.com. You can see it right here on my little banner if you can read it. That's where our podcast is, completely free. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's dozens of success stories from people in our community. The vast majority of the episodes are about the Replens model for the past couple of years because we're so excited about it. And the opportunity is actually expanding right now because of the times that we find ourselves in. So let's keep it going. Some things about me just to kind of hopefully validate credibility wise that I am who you should be listening to on this topic. We've helped multiple people start making money with less than $1,000. You don't need a lot of money, and you're going to see from the offer we have tonight, you just don't. If you've got around $1,000, you're going to be able to get everything you need, including the courses, the training, the tools, and the inventory to start putting money in the bank. We've seen people do it for even less than that, actually. So you can start earning money quickly. That's the other thing too that we love about this model. If you go down the private label route, you're going to run into a whole lot of people that have taken 8, 9 months or maybe a year or more to start hopefully making a profit with these products and these ideas. Not so here. We're talking just a few weeks. We have people excitedly, as you can see, I'll show you our Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group, by the way, with about 70,000 people in it. That's where these success stories and exciting pictures of results are being posted literally every day. Within the first few weeks, in many cases, they're showing their first shipments going in, and they're showing money being made. So we start you out earning money instead of spending money. That's a good way to think of us. When you think of silentjim.com, the guy you met tonight, think of he's the guy that teaches Amazon so that you start earning money before you start spending money. That's what we do. It takes a little bit of investment. Yes, you got to buy some inventory. You got to get trained on how to do this. You're going to need a couple tools. None of it's ridiculously expensive. And you can start putting money in the bank. And then you can move on and do some of these other models if you'd like. No reason you have to stick with just Replens, but Replens puts money in the bank fast. I've made my point. Okay, I've talked to you a little bit about the Facebook group. There'll be a link at silentjim.com. It's a link you can go right into this Facebook group. This is what the banner looks like now that you've seen it. That's our most recent conference from a few months ago. And guess what? Because you were here tonight, one of the cool bonuses we have for you, I forgot to mention this early on, is I'm going to give you the 30 videos that we charge $400 for. These people all paid around a couple $1,000s a piece to be at this event, by the way. Travel, registration, right? Hotel. They paid a couple grand to be there just a few months ago. This is the cutting edge Amazon content from our leadership team, from the best students in our community. 30 videos. You're going to get those for free tonight, just for showing up. That's a pretty cool bonus. But here's our Facebook group. As you can see, about 67,000 members. And I'm just going to tell you, when you get to that group, the first thing you want to do, we got a great welcome video. We've got some other content. Who needs another Facebook group in their life, right? Well, no one has this. You won't find any other Amazon seller community in the world that has what I'm about to show you. So check this out. You click on topics when you get there, and you go to the topics called recent success or coaching success, right? We got about 900, it's small print. I got my glasses on, 976. Now that's a few days old. We're coming up on 1,000 recent success stories from our courses, which is what you're going to get access to tonight. And our coaching students, over 100 recent success stories. You can scroll through them. If you click on this hashtag, you can scroll through page after page. You can do that for the next 8 hours if you want to validate what I'm teaching you actually works. Okay, I just grabbed 2 random screenshots, one with some small numbers, one with some big numbers. You're going to scroll through hundreds of stories that look like this if you want to. Don't go do it now because you're going to miss the content, okay? But make a note, silentjim.com. If you're writing anything down on paper or taking a note, that's the only thing you're going to need to write down until we get to the end. We got an offer for you too. You want to not make note of that, but there's no need to take notes right now. You're going to get this whole recording anyway. So again, why do we talk so much about Replens? Podcast episode 391. I talk about why. I go into that slide I showed you with the 4 models, why we talk so much about the Replen model. I told you a little bit, but in the interest of time, I want to keep moving. If you want more detail on why we fully believe and have proof that it's the superior model for new sellers, go listen to that episode after we're done here tonight. Okay, so what is a replen? Finally, I've used this word, 15, 20 times now, and I haven't told you what it is. What's a replen, Jim? And before I answer that question, you guys can all read, of course, obviously. Just so you know, I'm doing my best to kind of keep an eye on the questions popping in here. But they have a team as well at AMZScout, and they're going to be doing it as well. Towards the end, I'll stick around as best I can. But I just want to say a quick hi to, we got Tony, Arnita, Brandon in Pittsburgh. Awesome. Probably a Steelers fan, right? I'm a Cowboys fan from back in the day. Talking football. Jeff, no, you haven't missed much. And plus, Jeff said, hope I didn't miss much. I just joined. No, buddy, you'll get the recording as well. Okay, so just relax and sit back, enjoy, and we'll have some Q&A time at the end. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. I've only seen one person complaining about the volume, but I'll try to speak more directly into my mic. I think we're pretty much at a solid volume there. So appreciate you guys saying, hey, as you show up, I'm going to focus back on the presentation. So what is a replen? A replen is any item that you can easily source. Typically, it's retail sourced. Right now near you, if there's a store that has shelves and barcodes, there's probably replens in there. Now, what's the difference between a replen and retail arbitrage? Well, the difference is the way we study that product before we buy it. We're not just looking at the price. We're looking at how consistently is it selling on Amazon? At what price is it selling on Amazon? How many times per month is it selling on Amazon? We want to go after products that we can buy at full retail. I want to repeat that because it's important. Full retail. Paying full retail price, but it's selling on Amazon for 2, 3, 4, or 5 times more than it is sitting on the shelf at your store. And you're probably saying, Jim, that doesn't make sense. How many products there possibly be that are selling for that much more on Amazon than they are a retail store? And I would say you probably haven't spent much time scrolling on Amazon.com lately, because in the United States, let's just make sure everybody's on the same page here with how big Amazon is in the United States. I probably should have had a graph for this, but you guys have good imaginations. Let's make a pie chart now, right? And let's cut it in half. Pie chart, cut it in half. Half of all transactions on the internet any given day are happening on Amazon.com in the United States. Did you know that? Half of all transactions. Everybody else shares the other half of the pie. eBay, Etsy, all those Shopify sites, and they're all sharing, Walmart, all those other, they're all sharing the other half of the pie. Are you with me? That's where all the activity is. And what are those people doing? Well, they've got their Prime accounts and they're shopping for convenience. They're not necessarily price sensitive. Some of them are, of course, but a lot of them aren't price sensitive, which means they're shopping just because they want it a couple hours from now on their front steps. They're not comparing the price to Walmart and all these other stores. They just want to get it quickly. They want it on their front steps. That creates opportunity for people who are willing to take the time and do the research and find these products that are selling for significantly more on Amazon.com than they are on store shelves. And you can turn a virtual assistant loose, by the way, for those of you who kind of know a little bit about that, and do the research for you. We have 2 virtual assistants that find us way more products than we ever have time to go shop for on retail shelves that are selling for more on Amazon than they are on retail shelves. This is not a complicated model. Hopefully it's starting to click what we're talking about here. If it feels complicated, I haven't explained it well, because it's not a complex model. It's only slightly different from a retail arbitrage where you're scanning barcodes, because we don't scan barcodes. We actually search on Amazon for opportunity, or we search on store shelves and do research by keyword, as I'll show you in a moment. But we teach our students how to find these quickly. Finding the products is not the challenge. The challenge is building the system to get it into the hands of a shopper, to get the products shopped and into the hands of someone on your team, and then get them into a box and sent to Amazon, and building a good system that replenishes your inventory as these sell. That's where the term comes from. You're just replenishing your inventory. You're buying items that sell well. Maybe you buy 5 of those units. 2 of them sell, you go buy a couple more. 2 more sell, you go buy a couple more. You're replenishing your inventory. You're finding profitable products and just simply replenishing off of local store shelves. Now, why is this opportunity so awesome? We're going to get into that a little bit. If you're not familiar with some of the challenges our planet is facing right now, let me get you up to speed. It's hard to get stuff from point A to point B right now. This is kind of a funny meme I saw. It's sad and funny at the same time, but I think we can all appreciate it. Like, we've all heard about the shipping delays and the products that are stuck in transit. And it's like your product, it was supposed to be here 3 months ago, and they just bumped it back to a month ago, and then they bumped it to 3 months from now. And when's it actually going to get here? The whole planet is seeing these kind of challenges. And I could go into reasons why I think it is. I don't think it's all related to COVID. I think it has a lot to do with some governments being irresponsible with their decision-making personally, but hey, that's where we are regardless. So I got a question for you. If this is the state of the situation, I'm seeing some great questions. Which store should I source in? I'm going to tell you. Scroll and see if I've got any new questions here. You live outside the US? Yes, you can automate the entire process from outside the United States. One of the trainers on our team lives in Slovakia. And I'm bouncing around answering a couple questions early. I just couldn't help it because that's such a great one. He lives in Slovakia. If you didn't know, Amazon has 0 presence in Slovakia. If you went to Slovakia right now and walked up and down the street and said, hey, have you heard of Amazon? Most people would say no, or they might say, is that the company Jeff Bezos, that rich guy, owns? But they've never shopped there, nor has Joseph. He doesn't shop there. He's on our team. and he sells in the US. He buys his products in the US. He has those products sent to a prep partner, which is something we explain to you in our curriculum. We've got multiple prep partners all over the country that prep the stuff and send it into Amazon for you, and you get the checks. How cool is that? That's the model. It doesn't matter where you live, okay? So let's keep it going. Hey, you don't know where your package is. It's probably floating in the middle of the ocean somewhere off the coast of Los Angeles, more than likely, if you're in the US. That's just the situation right now. So shipping around the world is clogged. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, personally. Now, that's just me prognosticating, and I could explain why I think that is. I don't think this is a temporary glitch. I don't think this inflation thing is temporary. I think we're heading into a pretty major shift economically. Again, not because of COVID, not because of consumers. I think it's our governments are doing some pretty irresponsible things right now. That's just my opinion. But regardless, even if things do start to turn around, it's going to take at least a year or two for that to happen. So who has the advantages when products like these are moving so slowly from point A to point B? Do you have an advantage, or does, say, Walmart have an advantage getting the stuff that they want? Who do you think has the advantage, you or the large retailers like Kroger in the US, or Target is another one in the US, or Costco or Sam's Club? Some of these big retailers, you may not have heard of them, but these are the big boys of retail in the United States. Who has an advantage on actually getting stuff onto their store shelves? I would say that big retail does. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. Big retail has the advantage. And don't we all miss the days when store shelves look like this? That's what it's looked like pretty much since I was a kid in the United States, but it doesn't kind of look like that so much right now. It looks a little thinner than that right now. But the products that are there, in many, many cases, are worth a whole lot more money on Amazon than they are sitting on the store shelf. And this is, again, a reminder. We've taught a whole bunch of people without scanning barcodes how to go through store aisles and find products very quickly that they can flip. Maybe it's 2-packs or 12-packs. We teach you how to go through Amazon, how to find the winners, separate them out from the losers. Where you live in the world doesn't matter, to answer our friend's question and repeat it one more time. We've got a Canadian here who's asking, hey, I haven't done as well as I'd like to in the Canada Amazon. Could I start selling on .com? Yes. Many of our best success stories, as you could see from our free Facebook group, silentjim.com has the link to that group. Scroll through the success stories or go through our podcast. Again, silentjim.com, our podcast. Dozens of recent success stories. Many of them are Canadians. But again, it doesn't matter where you live. It's irrelevant. Remember my friend in Slovakia, our buddy in Slovakia. We've got people all over the world that are doing this business model, because you can use US-based partners to help you with the parts that you can't physically do yourself. You're not shipping the product to you and then back to the US. No, you're just shipping it from a partner in the US who bought it for you or holds it for you and sends it into Amazon for you. Many people do that model. So yeah, you can source online. Just to be clear, like I've just said, if you live outside the US, it just doesn't matter where you live. Here's some of the big retail stores located all over the US. We've got people in the US who never see or touch their product and do this business model. You can do it from anywhere in the world as well. If you have someone that can shop for you that lives near one of the big retailers, these are several, there's hundreds more that you can use. It doesn't have to be a big retailer. Actually, some of the smaller regional stores, you have a bit of an advantage because you're going to run into less competition there. But that's how the business model works, is you send someone either online to buy, or you go physically into the store to buy. You send the products into Amazon and you sell them. So why are they such a big deal? Let's just go through a quick bullet point list here. It's easily sourced inventory. And in many cases, zero competition worries, very, very frequently. And the reason I say zero competition worries is because many of our most successful Replens sellers, they'll have, like in our business, we've got a couple thousand Replens. We can't always find all of them. And if a competitor comes in and drops the price on one of them, we just go find 10 or 15 more. That's the game. It is a bit of a churn, but the stuff is everywhere. It's some low-hanging fruit. And I don't want to oversimplify it. I don't want you to make you think that it's not work, because it is. It's definitely work. Do not go through my course if you're not ready to do some work, or hire other people to do work, because it's work. If you're still under the illusion that you can build a legitimate business without actually doing any work, I'm the wrong guy to listen to. I always say, come back and listen to me when you've listened to a handful of other people who lead you down a, shiny rainbows and unicorns path to no work income. and then come back once you've burned through all that money and you've decided that maybe you will have to work to make some money online, because it will be work. Unless you happen to time out the right Bitcoins, you're going to have to work. And I love Bitcoin, but that's not the topic tonight. This is about building a business that you know is growing and scaling. And yes, you can absolutely sell it someday. You can transition it to an automated process. We have many people in our community who have done just that. It's very automated. I don't do any packing or shipping or shopping, very little. I enjoy it. I do it sometimes, but I don't have to. Our team does that. Okay, so why is it a big deal? You can end the constant hunt for that next big home run type product, that next big winner. You don't have to do that. You can go find easy products anytime you want to. You don't have to keep finding big winners. You can find a whole bunch of small winners. That's kind of the Replens model. Very short learning curve, as we've mentioned, easy to automate. You're just hiring people. The shoppers on my team, they have a shopping list. I can train my shoppers in 2 minutes. That's not an exaggeration. It's the same level of difficulty as handing somebody a shopping list and saying, hey, here's the things I need from the store. Could you go buy them, please? And they say, yeah. It's actually on their smartphone and they can click and see, oh, I need to buy 3 of these. Oh, there's a picture of it. And they go into the store and they buy it. It's that easy. When I go to the store for my family, I can't help but walk up and down the aisle and recognize some of our replens and throw them in the cart. I'll check our team's inventory, see if we need them. Yeah, we need 6 of those. All right, they've got 4 here. Grabbed them. Little $20 bills sitting on the shelf. Sure, I'll grab them when I'm out shopping for my family. That's the reality. Slowly walking up and down the aisle, either you or somebody else, and flipping the money into your shopping cart. Going home, selling it on Amazon. Worst case scenario is the price starts to tank on one of these items. What do? You sell it break even or maybe a tiny loss. But as long as it's a good replen, it's selling for a nice profit. We typically see anywhere from 30% ROI up to 300% ROI, with margins in the 20 to 35% range. Typically, that's the typical business model. It's the most stable model I've seen in 20 years. I probably mentioned earlier, but I've been doing this for 20 years. I've taught and used a whole bunch of different business systems to grow my business, my income, things that we've trained other people on. I've always done the things that I train, by the way. We don't just teach new stuff just for the sake of teaching it. We do it ourselves as well. Multiple income streams. This is the lowest hanging fruit, most stable model that I've ever seen. Again, I said at the beginning, if I have old friends come to me or family members I haven't seen in a while, hey, what are you doing online? Is this something you think I could do? I'd give them this training. This is what I would teach them, the stuff that we're giving you tonight, the Replens model. Many really big sellers use only this model. Okay, let's move forward. So I've mentioned a couple of these things before, just as a reminder. This isn't brand new content. This is stuff we've taught to a whole bunch of other people. Our course, which is the offer we're going to make for you tonight, to my knowledge, is the longest standing Amazon seller course in the industry. It's over 10 years old. Most of the courses that you're seeing on YouTube and these other things, you may think to yourself, well, the new, latest, and greatest, that's what I want to know. We've got a team of about 100 people that are constantly updating, improving this course, adding new content, and we all run Amazon businesses ourselves. We're some of the most established Amazon sellers in the space. We're the guys that have been doing it a while the right way. We're not flashy. I don't spend $1 million a month on YouTube trying to get new people into our funnel, buying some $8,000 course. That's not how we do it. We're building a team and a community of people who are willing to do some work, who understand that building a business means work. They're ready to do it, and they just want a proven system and a good community that they can lean on to help them as they hit little speed bumps and snags. That's what we do. Okay, so are you ready to find some replens? With all that set up, thank you for bearing with me. We're half an hour into the presentation and we're finally going to teach you. But I thought it was important to emphasize that all the things that I've gone over so far have kind of laid the groundwork. Who should you be listening to in the Amazon arena? And I've made a case for us. What makes the replens model so different? I explained to you why it's different. What is a replen? Now you kind of know. That's the foundation. Okay, I could have just said, hey, if you trust me, let's get into the training. But that wouldn't have flown. There's a good reason you're skeptical. You should be skeptical. You want to know who you're dealing with. What are you learning? Is it worth your time? Hopefully I made that case in the first half hour. So let's get into the good stuff. This is Amazon.com. Anyone familiar with that? Think you can find it on your browser? Okay, that's where we're going to start. That's all it requires to start looking. It's right there. And if you haven't done this in a while, you could probably blow yourself away just by getting on Amazon.com, Don't even have to log in. Doesn't have to be a seller account. You're just like a shopper trying to do some shopping, right? Type in some brand names of products that you're familiar with and just start scrolling down the page. This is how you can spend some time convincing yourself this is legitimate. You're going to find ridiculous prices on items that now you don't know what everything costs at the store. We're not playing the old US game show Prices Right. You don't have to know what everything costs, although you could easily research it. But you're going to scroll and you're going to see, like, I got a can of peanuts here on my desk, right? And you're going to scroll and see a 3-pack of these peanuts for like $22. You think to yourself, surely that's a whole lot less than that at the grocery store, right? And you do the math with the tools we're about to show you, and you discover, wow, I could go buy those 3 cans of peanuts and sell them on Amazon right now and make about $4.50 per sale after everything's said and done. Imagine having a few hundred or a few thousand of those that your shopping team is shopping for, that you're sending into Amazon. It's a beautiful model. We start right here on Amazon.com. Don't even be logged in. One of the tools we're going to show you tonight, this is a Chrome extension that comes to us from our friends tonight at AMZScout. It's going to be the tool that I'm demonstrating tonight. Now, now that I've introduced AMZScout into the discussion, let me tell you this. They have such a robust tool. I'm not going to show you and demonstrate more than 1/100th of what this thing can do, okay? I mean, it's got all kinds of imaginable features and functions that I haven't had a chance to even dive into. But the one I am going to show you tonight is part of the offer we're going to make at the end of this, by the way. And that is this AMZ. It's called the Dropshipping and Arbitrage by AMZScout. I wouldn't have named it that, but that just happens to be what the tool's name is, okay? It's irrelevant what the name of it is. It's what it does that matters, because I'm not a fan of dropshipping, actually. I don't do any myself. But this tool has a feature in it that is very powerful that you've probably never noticed. And this is the part where you've probably never heard anybody talk to you about Amazon this way. And we'll get into that in just a moment. I'll show you why this. And now this is a paid extension that comes with AMZScout with the offer we're giving you tonight. But I'll show you what it does and why it's so important and powerful. Okay, let's jump in. Let's get into an example now. So if I have that Chrome extension that I just showed you, and I go on Amazon.com and I pull up these products. Yes, I found these products a couple nights ago, setting these slides up. I was just going to go find some replens, and boom, they dropped right in my lap, just like I've told you they do once you know what you're doing. This box here comes up, and maybe I could ask someone on the team to move my face out of the way here if it's in the way, because I want to make sure everyone can see this corner down here. If you guys can bump me around. There we go. Hey, beautiful. Magic, huh? And that's actually makes me look a lot better probably as postage stamp size. You guys don't have to look at my big shiny forehead with the light on my laptop. But this button right here is part of that Chrome extension, and they've got some new features in here. And I'm not going to talk about all the other stuff they got going on. There's so many cool things going on here. We could spend 3 hours diving into what this one tool does, let alone all of AMZScout, okay? But this little orange button right here, I've got an arrow on it. I'm going to click that once I found this product, and it looks like there might be some potential here just based on my rough estimation. Now, I don't know what these cost retail, but surely for $29, I could make a profit selling these 2 boxes. This is a real listing. You could go look it up yourself. This is a real ASIN right here. Go check it out. 29 bucks. It took me about 15 seconds to find this, guys. Okay. So we jump over. Now there's a bar chart that's going to show up when you click that. And I've turned off, I don't know if you can see here, you may have to zoom in, but I've turned off several of the functions here. I'm only looking at the rank. Specifically, not even so much looking at this bouncing bar here. I'm looking at the rank drops. Now, put on your thinking cap with me for just a minute. Hang with me. This is the most technical part of what I have to teach you tonight, but it's vital to understanding replens. Rank drops. You've probably never heard that term before in your life, unless you've been a part of our community and you've hung out and heard us talk about replens, or you've listened to some of our podcasts before, silentjim.com. We talk about rank drops all the time. Why is that such a big deal, Jim? Rank drops, rank drops. You're going to hear it all the time. Drops. We just call it drops now. What's a rank drop? Okay, imagine with me, if you will, you're the guy in charge at Amazon of ranking the products from bestsellers to ones that don't sell so well. From number 1, which is the bestseller, to number 830 million or whatever it is at the bottom for each category, right? So if the product rank drops for a product, it moves closer to the number 1. It drops. That means a sale had to have occurred. In order for a drop to happen, a sale had to have happened. Someone had to buy something. The rank can't improve on a product on Amazon unless a customer bought it. Are you with me? So hold on to that little piece of logic that's important. Let's pin it over here. Rank can't drop unless a product sells. Simple enough, but you need to understand it. Grasp it. Drop is a good thing, in other words. Like a low score in golf, a drop is good. A low score, good. All right, we got that. Here's the other fact. You could look at every tool on the market that's out there right now, and they all do it, including AMZScout. All the big tools, I could name them, you've heard of them. All the big tools that cost money every month. And they're estimating the sales volume of products. And I appreciate those features. It's not my favorite feature. I would say it's borderline useless in most of the tools that are out there. Why is that? Because here's the secret. You may not know this about Amazon. Amazon does not release the data on sales volume on products. Let me repeat that. This is very important. If we're going to create a little sticky note in your brain and stick it right here, boom. Amazon does not report the sales volume of products on their website. Nobody has any idea how many units of anything is selling unless you're the seller. You with me? That's important fact number 2. So Amazon doesn't report the sales volume. A sales rank drop means that something's sold. So what are we left with? How do we know how much stuff is selling? How do we know how many units of any given ASIN are selling on Amazon? Is there any way to know this information? It's all about estimating and guesses. And you could say, well, if it's ranked in the top 1,000, it probably means it's selling about this many. And we can do all of that. And that's all marginally useful and beneficial in some cases. But for Replens sellers, we look at rank drops. Because what do we know about rank drop? That means at least 1 unit of that product sold. And then we can look at numbers like this. And I know it's really small on your screen. I blow it up on some later slides, but here you can see 30 days. Over the last 30 days, the rank dropped on this product 19 times. That means at least 19 sales occurred of this product. We don't know how many total, but if the rank dropped as Amazon's going through and constantly adjusting its algorithm, now it could have made several sales in between an algorithm adjustment, right? But at least 19 times the rank dropped on that product in the last 30 days. That is ridiculously useful information for us. And I'll show you why that is here in just a moment. This might be a good replen. This product, I'm bringing you up another example here in just a second. So before, you know what, I should probably go back just to make sure. So here's the things we're deciding. Before I jump to another example, here's the things we're trying to decide when we look at this product. What's it going to cost me to buy the product? What's it selling for consistently on Amazon? How many times per month is it selling at that rate? And how many other sellers are there? Because here's another really cool thing you can see. Sometimes we'll get replens that drop 80 or 90 or 400 times per month. Well, you can jump in with other resellers and sell that product. It doesn't matter if there's other people already selling it. You can be one of 15 or 20 sellers. If it's selling profitably, you can be in the mix, selling it profitably right alongside them through FBA, which means Amazon is doing the selling for you. If you live outside the US, you're probably going to do mostly FBA. Those who live in the US, you can do FBM, merchant fulfill. You can ship it yourself and save some fees. And actually, you can get into some of those shorter expiration date products, which are smoking hot. If I just wanted to give one quick tip to people who sell on Amazon in the US, you live in the US, and you can go look at short expiration date products. I'm talking like cookies, muffins, boxed pastries, that sort of thing. The dates are like 3 weeks out, but you can list it and sell it so incredibly fast right now on Amazon. You can build a whole business around doing that, but you're going to need to have a system. But if you want to just go test and see that I'm telling the truth, this stuff is literally everywhere. That's just one category, one example. All right. So now we're ready to move on and show you another example. And this one, it's kind of small in here, but I looked the cost. Yeah, there it is. Cost, it was $15 on Amazon. It's selling for about $32. I looked using our orange button down here that I just showed you to see how many drops we were getting. AMZScout told me 26 drops per month. And there's only a couple other sellers, if I recall. I didn't record that. I probably should have. But if you know that it's dropping, let's say 26, approximately 30 times a month, there's a couple other sellers. They're each getting about 15 sales, right? Do you follow me? 30 sales per month, 30 customers per month, approximately, according to AMZScout, according to the rank drops, counting the drops. That means a product sold, at least 26. which means at least that many, if not more, probably more like 30 or 40 based on our experience, because typically each rank drop represents anywhere from 1 to 5 sales, depending on other factors we're not going to get into right now. But this thing's selling at least 30 times a month. There's 2 other sellers. They're each getting 15 sales. You with me? You could be the 3rd seller and you'd be getting about 10 sales per month. Buying it for about $15. It's kind of a unique little bundle here, right? You can do that. Go buy 2 of this one, 2 of this one, 2 of that one, and 2 of that one. Your total cost at checkout is going to be about $15. You can expect to sell about 10 times a month at $32, 26 drops. I'm not going to get into the math of making sure that you can pick a winner from a loser right now, but just in general, if you can a little more than double your money in this price range, there's probably some money there. If you can triple your money, meaning if this was selling for $45, there's definitely some money there. Just as a general rule, okay? Because it depends on how big it is, how heavy it is, how hard it is to package. Those sorts of things go into it. That's some of what we train you on. But again, this is me I spent less than maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes tops to find some examples. And just so no one gets all excited and runs out and starts buying everything that looks like it's priced higher on Amazon, I want to emphasize this looks like a potential winner here, right? 5 bags of candy. Like, wow, I bet every Walmart in the US has those, and they probably for the most part do. Selling for $44. Holy cow, that's beautiful, right? Well, hold on. I clicked our orange button here. I went over to the graph. In the last 30 days, how many rank drops? 1 rank drop. It only sold once. I'm not going to go buy 5 bags of chocolate for a product that only sells once a month. Stay away from that. Do you see why rank drops become important? Just because the price on Amazon is high does not mean it's a winner. You want to look at rank drops. How many other sellers are there? That's where you make your decisions over, because you don't want to spend your time, waste your time testing stuff that doesn't work out, bringing it back. In this case, I wouldn't be too disappointed to bring these back, especially not the minis. If you haven't had them, I highly recommend them. The thins, they're good, slightly overrated. You need more peanut butter. But I'm getting off topic, making myself hungry here. You don't want to be testing all day on new products like this that don't work out. You want to get good at making decisions. Once you're good at the process, after you've done it a few times, about 7 or 8 times out of 10, you're going to have winners. Once you go through the process of analyzing, is this a good product or not? That's what our training does. That's what we're going to be talking about, step-by-step video training that our team goes through. It'll take you about 6 to 7 hours to understand the whole process. You can turn that over to a virtual assistant, or you can go do it yourself. Either way, you'll be off and rocking with the Replens model, finding profitable products, which is the whole game. If you didn't know, that's the whole game of selling on Amazon, is finding profitable products, right? This is a stable way to find products that you can source over and over again and sell. So everybody's clear. This is a bad example, right? And I could do this let me get a sip of water here. I could do this for hours, guys. You could go to Amazon. Remember that slide I showed you when we first started? Just go to Amazon.com, no tools needed, and just scroll around, and you're going to see products that are priced ridiculously higher than what your instincts tell you they should be priced. And with a little bit of research, how many other sellers are in there? How often is it selling? Is this worth testing? Is it in a category that I'm approved for? How do I know? Right? Those are the little decisions that you make, and you make those rapid fire little decisions, and you decide, yeah, this is a product worth testing. The model we're using the most right now, the most excited about right now, is online shopping, which anyone in the world can do. You can shop on Walmart.com from anywhere in the world, have it delivered to someone who sends it into Amazon for you, or taking pictures of local store shelves. If you happen to live in the US, you could go do this yourself. Go to the store, take your digital camera, snap a picture of about 20, 30 products at a time, make it a clear picture. You want to have some barcodes on there to help you with your research. Make sure you get the price tag on there so you know how much it costs. Go home and just scroll around on Amazon looking at some of those brands. You're going to find 3-packs and 5-packs and easily sourced bundles that are selling for nice profits. Guaranteed that they're there. I've been fond of saying recently, you could drop me in any store that has barcodes and shelves in the world with about an hour or 2 of time, and I'm going to walk out with a couple dozen profitable Replen products.